New York Congressman George Santos is in custody right now and will soon face a judge.
Federal prosecutors filed charges in the Eastern District of New York. They include fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and making false statements. Santos is at the center of several federal investigations regarding his finances. He's also faced some heavy criticism for lying about his resume leading up to his election.
For more on all of this, let's bring in former federal prosecutor Brian Jacobs. He's also a partner at Morvillo, Abramowitz. This is really a stunning turn of events, for a congressman who has had such a trail of lies, quite frankly. In layman's terms, what do these charges mean and what penalties might they carry?
Well, the charges mean, most obviously, that he's now going to have to answer in court for at least some of the lies that he's told. What's interesting is that the indictment doesn't focus on any of the biographical lies that were reported over the last few months. The focus really is on lies to get money from two contributors, lies to get unemployment benefits when he in fact had a job, and then lies on his house disclosure forms. They are very serious charges. At the same time, they may not be as serious as they could have been. The amounts of money involved are somewhat surprisingly modest.
So explain to us, Brian, the process that is going to happen starting now.
Starting now. So this afternoon, Mr. Santos will be arraigned in federal court. He'll have to enter a plea, and presumably he'll enter a not guilty plea. And then after that, there will be an extended period of what's called discovery, where the government turns over its evidence, and motion practice, where Mr. Santos can make motions to suppress or any other motions he thinks are advisable. During all of that, there could also be plea negotiations, if that is something he wants to engage in.
Strange, because up until this point, he has not seemed very apologetic about any of the mistruths and mischaracterizations and lies that have followed him. What kind of consequences could he be looking at based on these charges, considering, as you've said, that the amounts of money are relatively modest?
Well, obviously, the biggest consequence one can face on a federal criminal indictment is jail time, and that is certainly a possibility here. These charges, several of them carry a maximum of 20 years in jail. That overstates it a bit because the amounts of money are low enough that the likely prison time would be significantly lower. But still, jail time is a real possibility. There could also be financial consequences where he'd have to repay the contributors or the government for the unemployment money. And then, of course, the big question folks are wondering about, what will happen with his seat in Congress? There's no rule that will require him to resign. Of course, Kevin McCarthy said he'll ask him to resign if he's convicted when the time comes. That could also be a feature of a plea negotiation. One could imagine prosecutors requiring a resignation as part of a plea deal. So that's something also to look out for here.
All right.
All right. Brian Jacobs, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.